I'll wear plaid shorts. What do you mean?
Still goes back and forth down there. His Chuck or Ben Long.
I never met him, but I admire his work.
Yeah. He was just up. He was in my studio just a couple weeks ago.
I'm talking chemistry.
Chuck's working on
Sorry, I didn't meet him.
No, nothing like that.
Yeah.
If he comes by again, just give me a ring.
I will
Have him come out for
definitely.
a cup of tea.
Because every now and then he stops by up here because Chuck's working on another big fresco project up there. So Ben comes in every now and then.
But you were able to sell your
definitely
house.
Definitely that.
Yeah, I've admired his work, and from a distance, what I've been to see, it would be fun to do so. And he's North Carolina. Or?
Yeah, he's in Charlotte right now. He's become very good friends with Hugh McCall.
Oh my God, he's got a garden made of all different kinds of banners.
You've started a good one here. There's a
Well,
lot
trying, yeah.
You did a great job. There's a lot of very recognized.
Right, and they're kind of all over the place.
Texas was intended to be a studio.
People are talking about your lectures.
Yeah, it's fun.
Out in Florida, did Daniel, you know Daniel Graves at all? Did he study?
A little bit, yeah.
That's what I was just out there and saw him a couple of times. Chuck and I went out to Florence and stayed with Daniel for a while.
I guess he's got a nice, thriving school there.
Yep, he's got a lot of kids come from England.
Right.
And mostly from England, but a couple of other countries.
Like Chuck Cecil, do you know him?
Yeah. I've only met him.
Can't tell him. I can't tell
I don't know him as well. I know Daniel.
I think they have some problem in keeping students for over a period of time.
Probably
4 years. What's that?
The students are probably experimenting
Yeah.
and traveling a little bit, I think.
Well, Florence is so attractive.
Yeah.
Find out, that's where you want to be. But whether you can develop a place in which people will study seriously for quite a number of years, that's another story.
Yeah, I think what I saw is it's really expensive to live in Florida.
I hear that.
So you have a certain type of demographic of student that's going to come in there to be able to afford everything, and they might be a little bit spoiled, I think. So they test it out for a year or two if they see they want to be an artist or whatever.
Yeah, that can be fun, but if you want to do serious work, there's too much dilettante. However,
Yeah, you never know. There's always going to be one every now and then.
Sorry, you have to leave. You have to get out. Sorry, you'll have to leave.
well, they get a lot of students from English.
I can't remember how many. What is their full-time program? It's like 18 or 20.
I think at least that. It looked pretty sizable.
Yeah.
It looks like a nice facilities.
Yeah, they got a big new place. Big open space that he cut down into.
Mark, great to see you.
Nice to see you, Mr. Lack. I'm glad to see you. This is
Glad you could come by.
Beth Adams.
How do you do? Yeah, excuse me.
She's
for
worked
interrupting.
with Ben Long. I don't know if you remember Ben.
We were just
I was just
talking
Oh, okay.
about
And Chuck Kapsner, and so.
and he was here in town, and I just mentioned that I would have loved to have met him because I admire his work.
next time he comes.
He came in with a back problem and about I went up to Chuck Kapsner when he was doing the fresco up in Little Falls. How have you been?
Not bad. I had a little health setback there, operation, and so I'm much better. Bouncing back. The doctor said it took 6 months, which would be really my symptoms.
Why don't you sit next down to Richard and I can get both of you here now.
Anyways, when I'm painting, enjoying life. I have my little stage here.
Who's the grandchild?
It's Michael. Peter is not married. He's got a significant other that he's been with for and so is Susanna.
She's still in New York?
She's in Philadelphia. She's a doctor in psychology. She works in the hospital. Clients in her clinic. And so she's got her profession is a shrink.
You're such a bohemian.
Well, as she comes back and visits, and she's
Remember the contraption?
developing my skills.
Yeah, size contraption.
No, that's a good get. And then she decided to go away from
She worked at it seriously, but she was very honest about it. She decided
No one else did either. It's like Randy's father. Great. It's really cool.
to give her.
Yeah, you really, it's a risky life, like swimming, like any of the arts.
I admired her. She said, yeah, I'm going to
No, Randy has
start
like
over
built
again,
like his
become a
own stuff.
doctor. Persevered. Peter's planning to finish his education. He's been working as a physician. He's doing pretty well. And he's working in Hazelton as a counselor. He's kind of like
Yeah, why are so nice?
and I'm enjoying watching how growth
Oh,
Yeah, it's amazing what you
good to see you.
Yeah, how are you?
Good.
You mean when I was a teenager or when they were? Actually, I would say from about 13 until about 20.
You're lucky if you got off early at 20. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, come to think of it, my youngest moved back in at about 22. Yeah, at 16. When my oldest stepdaughter was 16, her mom said, "I can't stand her. She's going to live with you guys." So so under those circumstances, I had moved in. She moved in and lived with us for a year, and it was an amazing experience. Up until that time, I was just really a friend, and then I all of a sudden became this authority figure. I was like, why did that role at all? So, yeah. Are you taping this?
Yes, I am.
Oh, no, I better be careful what I say. So, okay, if you turn it off, I can tell them the real way to survive this.
Well, I've got a son who's 29, so I've been there. Yeah, it's wild. He's doing well now.
Let's see, my stepdaughter is 30. Is he married?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hi, Catherine.
Hi.
It's good to see you.
So what have you been doing recently? You still I know you've been raising a daughter, and that's probably pretty much full time.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Well, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.
So are your kids back in town?
Tucking my shirt in now.
Oh yeah, and put on your belt and take off your sunglasses so people recognize you for
Yeah.
who you are.
You gotta look like a tough guy.
Is that a camcorder?
Yes, it is.
You can also talk into it.
Yes, it's recording what you're saying just right now.
Oh my God. Then I want to say how
Yeah.
very gratified I am that so many people came.
Yes.
Everybody seems to have a wonderful time.
Yes, it's a great crowd. It's a great crowd. I'm going to try to get some of this documented. You know?
Is that Carl's camcorder?
No, it's mine.
Carl asked me permission.
Oh. Well, that might be my. No, that's not. I got my camera here too. So I'd like to find out from who are you, by the way? Oh, hi, Reed. I've heard about you, but I've seen some of your work, but I've never met you. I had a chance to meet you. So.
Glad to meet you finally.
Yes. Yeah. Likewise. So.
So you and Peter are good buddies?
Yeah. He's treating me to a baseball game in a couple of weeks.
Actually, Tom Schramer.
Tom Schramer is, yeah.
Treating all of us to games.
Yeah. But Pete Work and I work together on the journal, Classical Realism Journal, and I was and still am involved with the society, but now I've turned over the reins of being president to Alan Banks. Okay. So the artists now are kind of running things. I'm kind of keeping the things going behind the scenes as an administrator for the society.
He's been a friend of the studio for years too. So.
Yeah.
I've never met you. I've seen your name times.
I hope the image doesn't, quite live up to the image of the name.
He's just fine.
I'm this frumpy little guy.
You're okay.
I'm a frumpy little Dane.
But people like.
Yeah. So how's your career going?
Well, I'm still working as a paramedic, so I'm not supporting myself entirely
Okay.
by painting.
Not very many of the artists are able to do that. So anyway,
But things are going a little bit better every year.
Now, are you out at Waconia? I see your work out of hanging in the walls of the Waconia Hospital.
He works out at Laconia.
Is that where you work?
Paramedic, yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's not too far from here.
Yeah, I just live down the road about maybe 3 miles. Where Christmas Lake Road is.
Sure, yeah. Okay.
Pretty close by.
Yeah.
So I work as a paramedic about half the time, and then I paint about half the time.
So that's a nice balance. I mean, to be in a position where you can get out and paint at all. I mean, so that can
Get
be
a lot of time off.
Yeah, I mean that's I think a very difficult thing for a lot of the artists to work out is having the means to generate some income so that they can paint, but yet what are their options career-wise to do that so they can paint during the day when they need the natural light.
Yeah.
So it's nice you found a balance then in your life. Yeah.
So good. I wish it worked out a little bit better, but
Right.
yeah. So are you painting quite a bit?
I get some hours in now. Got a lot to do with the journal now, which is coming along pretty well, by the way.
No, this next issue, yeah.
Next issue, doing more remodeling at the studio this summer. But I've been getting out several medium-sized things. I'd like to do a lot of studies this summer. Do some interior stuff.
Did you ever get together with Mary Rose?
Hey, Mr. Levick.
Hi, how you doing? Good to see you. Great to see you again.
Looking good.
Well,
We've had a chance to see some of your students you haven't seen in a while. Any surprise visits yet?
I knew that Judy Riley was coming in.
Yeah. Right.
Must be a surprise or two. But actually, I kind of wasn't that surprised. It was nice to get people come here. Biggest surprise was to see Donald here.
Yeah, it was nice they could get down for the weekend.
That's great. Maybe it's the younger generation.
Right.
From his drawing, but he'd go in there with his ink drawing, and he would do a little study of the eye or the nose, and he'd push, he'd put the whole thing together at the end in the portrait, and maybe quick sketches of this and that. 45 minutes was portraits.
Was that because they wouldn't sit longer?
Well, no, that's because the expression went dead on him. And they do. I mean, you realize that after about an hour, they just start to go. And you're lucky these days if you can get somebody to go 45 minutes. Half an hour, I find is about the attention span of an adult.
How did you do it with these big commission portraits you've done?
I did exactly that. I did a lot of drawings. I go to Thatcher and I'd say, okay, she was actually the best of the bunch because she comes from a tradition where people sat for portraits. She'd sit there solid as a rock. She'd sit there and I would draw her and I would do another drawing and I would do another drawing over a period of maybe 3 times to London with 3 sittings, and each time I got about 9 sessions with her.
Nothing in color though.
No, I just standardized the color. You couldn't because I tried it once with Lord Callahan. And by the time you got set up, I got set up and everything else, and I did this once with Callahan, and I had an hour session with him. I got some color notations and this and that, and in a very quick way, sketch way. But it was nothing that would pull apart.
So your time would have been better spent.
Your better time is spent going to figure out how their nose is attached to the face, or their eye, or their bone, or their or the chin, or their ear, or something, or their hand. You can get a much more realization. And I thought, well, the color was fine, but in the end, I had to make up the color anyway. So it's not like you're going to be able to get them to come back again. So yeah, I just said drawing is all I'm going to worry about, and it actually worked really well, and they were much happier seeing a more realized thing than a sketchy oil thing.
Yeah, they might have been more disappointed.
Yeah, they got to say, geez, it's going to have more finish than that. But if they saw a nicely finished eye or nose or general expression, they're actually happier. Thatcher was very more understanding, very Russian. Powell was the worst of all of them.
Wasn't he in profile?
He was kind of looking off this way, and I remember getting him to stand up. I said, all right, General Powell, I want you to stand there, put your arms like this, turn to the right. Turn to the left, turn to the right.
This is like the Army.
He said something like, he says, nobody's ordered me around for years. So I felt like, oh, yeah, okay. Here I'm telling this five-star general, turn right, turn left, chin up, chin down. It's like, and I was trying to explain, he says, don't tell me about why you have to do it, just do it. He says, I'm in, the Army. He says, I don't need to know why, just do it and get it done. So it's like, all right, okay.
Was he a little intimidating then to work with?
Of all the ones was the testiest. He was he's the most in demand too.
Yeah.
15, I sat in for mornings with the meetings with him. He said, we don't have time for you to sketch. I had an hour set. So all these meetings come in, you're going to just have to I come in from Washington, D.C. Just have to work regardless. He's got a bunch of meetings that couldn't be rescheduled because he was out another day.
So I had to do that too.
And so I sat there next to his desk. He had these meetings, 3 hours of meetings. You can stay here as long as you want. Draw. So I did a whole pile of
anything more than gesture things?
No,
he's moving all the time.
He's moving all the time. He doesn't still, but you've got to be, you go for things. You go for ears. You go for line of a mouth. You go for an expression in an eye. And at the end, you just piece them all together. You just got to pull them all together. I guess, that's what I learned from Monagoni is that you never get any of these people to stand still for you long enough to do what you're used to doing.
Did you get any photographs?
Then I got them to say, all right, I need, at the end of this session, I need you 10 minutes undisturbed. I don't care what you got to do, because I can take some pictures, and then I can, with all of that, put all the information together. Oh, it was like pulling teeth. It's like 10 minutes. Well, it's exactly right. It's that, and then when the ones that come, the people that really did sit for me, like Callahan and Thatcher, you just see it. You just see it in the portraits how much easier, and it was easier to do because you got up there and you said, oh yeah, I've done this before. It's not like you're trying to piece it together. And Bush actually was pretty good. He just said, hold all the calls.
I'm convinced.
And for an hour, he gave me an hour, and I got to do a nice drawing, a completed drawing. So, but other than that, you just got to, because it's a battle against time with them, and you've got 50 people who want 15 minutes of their time the rest of the day. So,
didn't Gilbert Stewart work like that?
They had to. I don't care.
Like
I don't
an
care.
assembly line.
Yeah, I don't care. Who you were or what time
minutes, then the next one comes in.
You would have had even the King of England in the 1600s was just as busy as Colin Powell.
Oh, even Fleming talks about that during Napoleon. Same thing.
I don't think it's changed. And I think I remember reading on he had a 15-minute session with Napoleon.
And the rest was
made up by somebody else and copied from David's. He used David's likeness to get the gesture and the proportions.
I wonder how David got it.
Well, David had Napoleon at a younger age too. So
When he was trying to build an image. So.
yeah, right. By the time I got to him, he said he got a 15-minute post one day.
How did you? Yeah.
Remembered.
Yes.
When you sit down again, call me.
Okay. She's helping me to get documented down all of the students that are here. So.
Oh, we ought to have.
How did you get that commission, by the way?
Of what?
The Bush, for the Bush Museum.
Harlan Crow is a major trustee who I've done portraits of his family
Yeah.
of the Bush Library.
Okay.
So came through that. And the one, the Margaret Thatcher, Ronald Reagan one, he's part of AEI, American Enterprise Institute, sort of right-wing think tank.
Uh-huh.
And that's where this was a benefactor of that. So.
Okay.
And he knows them all. The crows are, Tremble Crow is about as, is almost congruent with right-wing politics in America. Big funders of anything that happens in the Republican field. So, Ford's coming to their place for dinner, the Bushes are on their boat, they have a ship, a helicopter for them.
Did you go out there?
No, I have not been to the boat. It's a ship. It's not a boat. It's a ship. There's a distinction when it sleeps, when it can sleep a crew of 12 plus a dozen guests and Secret Service people. Then it's a ship with a helicopter in the back. So anyway.
What are you working on now? Do you have any projects in the works now?
Just a little fresco I'm doing for Church of BP.
Oh, okay.
Doing Resurrection.
Uh-huh. Good. Oh, no, it's never too late to send me anything.
Oh, it's not?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry I didn't get around to it yet.
Okay.
But I'll write it up and send it in.
Okay.
How are you? Good to see you.
Good to see you.
How you been?
Good.
Good.
I've got your Alma Tadema book here.
Oh, good.
I got your surprise recorded for posterity.
Oh, no.
In
The
fact,
most surprised I'll be today.
it's over here on a chair, if you'd like to. Hi, I'm the videographer here.
Okay, is it on?
Yes, it's on.
Oh my goodness.
We are live and on camera.
I don't have any studio space heated, so you've got
You're live on camera.
So say profound things.
Caught me right
No,
in midstream.
no, you can actually just keep talking. I'm just kind of documenting conversations and stuff.
All right.
Yeah.
And so I decided not to. First of all, they were really expensive. And the commute would be at least 45 minutes every morning. And back. And then I'd have to buy a space heater, get there early, turn it on, so that, if I had a model come in, it would be warm enough for them. So I just ended up, I went to one of the schools and asked for a model. And they were real helpful.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I called a couple of things. So I just worked on it in the park.
Did you find Sergeant's studio or any of that?
Well, yeah. Coincidentally, Charles Cecil had I guess the guy who has Sergeant's old studio, Julian Barrows, is on Cecil's board of directors. And right at the end of my stay there in June, Cecil had a student exhibition there at this guy's studio. And so I went to his Take Street, and it was great. I got to see the students work, and Charles gave a little impromptu talk and a little slideshow. It was really cool.
The studio's still pretty much
It still looks very Edwardian. It's still got, kind of that old furniture. This guy, Julian Barrows, is a landscape painter. So he had a lot of his paintings in the
name sounds familiar.
Yeah. He did a lot of small ones, like a bunch of scenes of New York. I think he was having a show in New York or something. He was just getting ready to send them out there. 2 weeks ago. Nice work. Yeah. That was fun though, to see that studio.
I guess you got to go to the museum.
Yeah, which you
See a lot of Rayburn's. Was a Rayburn show?
Rayburn show when I went back. So I had got a portrait commission, so I went back right at the time this Rayburn show was just starting. So I got to see that. It was fantastic.
You had a portrait commission while you were there?
I got it while I was there, but I didn't actually start it until 3 months later. So I came back here and then flew back. So I got it because I was in the Royal Portrait Society. So I brought a painting with me to enter. Yeah, and so the guy was really great. I mean, really nice people that commissioned it. So
Rick, look at this.
Oh. That's important. We got to get that documented.
Send me a copy for my tax records. I'll send it into the IRS. There you go. You know, one year I was did a sales tax.
Yeah.
And I told them, I said, well, you might want to do this yearly because artists are, the sales go down.
Right.
They said, no, we need it quarterly. So fine.
Right.
So I'm doing a couple quarters, and they called up and said, yeah. Is that right? 69 cents? Why don't we do it yearly?
Yeah.
Like it was their idea.
Yeah, right.
It's like, fine, that's good with me.
Right.
So
now you still have your studio in your home?
Yep.
And you're doing concentrating on your landscape, or are you also still doing some of your imaginative work?
Yeah, I am.
Good.
I started that up again.
Good.
Book of Mormon stuff.
Yeah. Now, do you have any place where you've been able to show it, or people, anyone in the church acquiring it, or?
No, not really.
Yeah.
I've had some people interested, but I haven't really. I've been more developing it.
Okay.
And not trying to sell it. I might be sending something out to Salt Lake in an exhibition this summer, this November. But other than that, I'm more of a, I don't know, I just live to paint pretty much.
Right.
I don't think too much of the business end of it.
Right.
I just love painting.
I'm in the wrong place, I'll tell you.
So, I just love it. Best job in the world, man.
Yes, it is. It'd be nice to see some of your work again. Yeah.
I can't do the marketing.
Right.
Or selling stocks and bonds, stuff like my friend down in IDS. I did a sketch out of his 30-story window.
Yeah.
And listened to him while I was doing his wheeling dealing. It was fascinating. He was talking with these guys. Hey, how you doing? We haven't traded lately. What's going on? I wanted to do a painting of the north side of their office complex.
Yeah.
He said a few years ago some guy had come up with a barbell, knocked out the window, smoked a cigarette, and jumped onto the IDS crystal court.
Oh my gosh, really?
So they were a little bit leery of, well, I'm not going to cut off my ear or anything.
Right.
I just want to do a painting, So I'm still waiting for, he said things are a little edgy around the office. Now you might want to hold back on that.
Hey, what years did you study with Richard? I'm trying to get everybody's years.
I started as a night student in 1976.
Okay.
And I took just about any night class I could. And then in 1979, I started a full-time program, and then I was there till 81.
Okay.
So I left. I think it was Christmas 81, so like 3.5 years.
Right. Okay.
I was a janitor there. I was a janitor at the university. I saw big snows coming in the winter, and they did. And we had a baby, and I was building the studio all at the same time. So
oh, man.
I can't do this anymore.
To live there.
I don't know.
What I really wanted to do.
Yeah, it worked out.
Yeah.
I'm having fun. Too much.
Such and such a day. And he said he did. And then his words were something to the effect of, this is about gambling now, so I'm not going to record this.
No, yeah, let's get it all. Let's get all the dirt.
Paul says, and I soon found that I couldn't reconcile the charming fellow I met in the museum with this creature who existed in the studio. So.
There's a definite dichotomy there. Yeah, I mean, how do you explain that? It's just, maybe his dad was the same age. He used to tell us just one or two stories about his dad.
Well, you were with him until almost the end, right?
Yeah, about 6 months before he died.
And then you went down and studied with Alan for a while?
Went back to Ohio State 2 more years with Alan, then I came here when I realized I didn't know how to paint. Still. So I thought I'd study with the man, and that's what put me over the top. So, yeah.
What years were you here with Richard?
83 to 85.
Okay.
Yeah, there's just so much that goes into it, and I wasn't quite getting the hang of it. So this is what this experience kind of pulled it all together.
Well, he got here the same year that I did, but he was way ahead of me.
Yeah.
But you caught up in an awful hurry.
Yeah.
Well, you've got that tape recording of that critique by Gamble.
Right.
I'd like to get a copy of that sometime.
Yeah, you know what I'd like to do is have that, because there's a hiss in the background.
Yeah.
They have some remarkable.
They can remove that digitally,
I
yeah.
don't know where in Cincinnati I could get that done.
Uh-huh.
Someplace.
Mhm.
Because it would be, I think something to just have make copies of.
Yeah.
You know who else has more is Bob Moore in Boston.
Oh, really?
He has, I think he has a lot more than I have.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was there longer. And,
Yeah.
you know,
How much do you have, would you say?
I just have like it's maybe 2.5 hours.
Okay.
2 hours of, maybe 2 hours tops.
Uh-huh.
Something like that.
Okay. Yeah, I know there's if there's any kind of sound studios that you have in the area,
There's got to be a place
yeah,
that could take that
I'm sure.
digitally remaster
Yeah,
it or something.
yeah.
Because the quality is hard to hear or something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it's worthwhile, especially when he yells. You get a sense of that timbre of his voice when he's pissed off. When I didn't have paint rags, I only had paper towels.
I remember that story.
Remember that?
You told us that story.
Yeah.
Well,
You don't have any paint rags? I'm going to sit down while you get me some paint rags. I can't. I don't use paper towels.
Yeah, there he is. How's it going?
So, you're doing some imagines?
Yeah, kind of. I started out doing some imaginal things, flying dragons. My son does castles, you know. I'm the illustrious Mike Coyle. Nice to meet you. Yeah, I'm having fun.
I'm trying to keep that alive too myself. You know, always got some things going in the studio.
You've been doing landscapes too?
Yeah, I've been the last 3 years is really jumping into that. I only dibble dabbled at it before, and now I'm really getting more serious about it.
It's a challenge.
Yeah, it really is.
Landscape, it really takes some time to, and, you know, and I've been doing it for a while. Even now, sometimes I go out and I work on these things and I think, well, this one didn't work, you know, get rid of it.
This is my first year where I've got any kind of consistency and I'm able to do larger things in this time. You know, pretty much I used to just go out doing small things I could do in the afternoon.
That's important.
It is actually quicker things, and this year for the first time. Still don't quite get out enough.
Thank you. Yeah, I was thinking, I think they're going to commission. They've been going. I was needing some advice. You've been talking to them for so many years. And this party came up, and I thought, well, gallery in Scottsdale.
You're done. I think you're in a better mood. Not the break, whatever. Western stuff, which I absolutely kind of like.
I know, and this means we gotta go.
You're right.
Good to see you. Well,
Okay, so 93, and you were there 4 years?
Yeah.
So it'd be 89 through 93.
So you still are painting.
And how's your career going?
It's going pretty well right now. Actually, things have gotten a lot better.
Good.
Getting, starting to get more commissions and a gallery in Scottsdale. This is kind of happening in the last couple of years. So, finally.
Yeah, well, Richard always said it takes a while to build that up, you know, and people have to stick to it, so it's good to hear.
A couple of years of wondering if you should get a job at McDonald's and just kind of things get better.
Mm-hmm. Well, we sure enjoy your writing, too, for the journal.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I need to do more of it.
Yeah, good.
Got my essay here. What do we do with this?
Oh, you can give it to me, and I'll make sure I'll put it with Steve Jurtson's essay, too, so. And then, excellent. And then you're going to send us some photographs?
I can just give you a postcard of one of my paintings.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Okay, great.
Taking pictures with the camera now.
So say profound things.
Oh, you just missed some really
And
good stories.
make sure you just be yourself. Right? Art is good.
Art is fun.
Art is fun.
Mike Coyle told me that, and I believe you. That's right.
So you are gullible.
Art is fun. That's lots of work.
It's lots of work.
It doesn't pay very well.
Okay, well, you know what we were just talking about is Harry Lagares. Do
Yeah.
you know Harry?
No.
Okay, Harry Lagares owned the building
building that the Atelier lacked.
Oh, sure.
A little old Greek guy.
Yeah, I heard of
Greek
his.
guy, and he
Eric
walked-
Richard used to tell me about him. Yeah.
He walked like Tim Conway when Tim Conway did his Little Old Man.
Okay.
Shuffled up. And he'd come in, at least once a week to see Deb Askey on the model stand. And he'd walk by, and he'd act like he wasn't watching. He'd walk by, and then Deb Askey would be up there, all statuesque on the model stand. Deb Askey would go. And Harry's hat, like his bowler would go, woo!
And keep him going for another week.
That's right. And then Harry owned buildings, restaurants, the whole bit. He did the whole Greek, stereotypical Greek American thing.
Right.
He'd go up to Dean Calamus. Dean Calamus's family were Greek, and they owned American restaurants and so forth. And he'd always say to Dean, "You have a trade. Why are you hanging out with these guys? They don't know nothing. You could be a restaurant man. You could own people. You could own things. You could hire people. You could do very well." And Dean, well, yeah, but I want to paint.
Right.
And then Harry would always come up to me because he was this tall, and he'd walk right into my chest. He'd go, as his joke, and he'd go up to me and go, "Oh, you're a very big guy." But since I was large, he liked me.
Yeah.
And he'd say, "This doesn't work well for you? You come, I'll give you a job. I'll get you into the restaurant. You do good. You do good." So that's what Harry Lagares did. And Harry really took care of us all. I mean, he kept the rent low.
Oh, yeah, for a long time.
So Harry was a
Yeah, he liked
guy.
Richard.
Yeah.
And he just loved looking at the models once a week.
And he liked the students as well.
Yeah.
Well, he really did.
Well,
everybody liked him. So.
Yeah.
And Richard told me stories about how every year he'd have to go in and renegotiate the lease. And he said he had him pegged right from the beginning that this guy likes to do business the old-fashioned way, right? So you'd have to sit down and talk just about stuff, for about an hour.
Yeah.
And then you kind of work your way around to kind of beginning to just even mention the lease, and then you talk about other stuff, and then and have some coffee, right? And then all of a sudden it was down to business, And he said he thinks he liked the way he just learned to do business with him the old European way from Greece, and so you'd always give him a good deal then.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Plus he liked the nude models.
He'd have to come and look like Deb Askey. He'd love Deb Askey. Look at her. And the minute Deb would wink at him, his step got a little bit springier.
That I don't see last time I was over to your house.
Well, it was kind of my idea. But actually, all the thanks goes to Steve Levine, who I told him, this is what you should do and how to do it, and then he did it. So I'll take credit for the idea, but he did all the work to help orchestrate making it happen. So it's really turned out very successful. It would be fun to do this maybe once every so often. Yeah.
It would be great to have an annual event.
Well, it would. I mean, it'd be a great way for people to get back together and get caught up in what's going on. And
Planning ahead.
do you ever stay in touch with any of the artists here in town?
Right. Well, sure. David and Mike Coyle and Wayne, they paint about once a week and have a model come in. Deb Askey is their model. And they paint. So
Good.
that happens all during the school year.
Okay.
Fridays, and then, they've invited other people to come in and paint.
He probably could. He's throwing me over.
Good.
Quite as big as me.
Just still keep in contact with like Jeff Larson and Dean Calloway.
Easy enough that you could have done.
Good.
Brian once came in.
Hey, Sid. I'm recording.
Are you?
Yeah.
Not this minute?
Yeah, right this minute.
It's a great party. You did a good job.
Well, you want to put a hug down on tape? Yeah, that's okay.
Well, on this side.
Yeah, thank you.
This needed to be done.
Yeah, this has turned out great. Yeah. We were just saying it'd be fun to do this, It'd be nice to do it every year, but that might be a bit much. But maybe every 2 to 3 years would be good.
3 years would be good.
Yeah.
So, have you found it's better to be with a group of people who already appreciate what you're going for and trying to...
Well, you got close that one year to needing one more person to be able to make it. to having a majority.
We had a show there.
Yeah.
No, we had a show.
So, and then that seemed to kind of.
Yeah. And the years that we were in there working to get, kind of equal time, they built from 40 or 50 people at their meetings to 300. Because they just, the whole art community got up in arms when they realized that realists wanted to come in and have shows there. And so they we got to protect our turf. And then and then the people who were running the program loved it because it got more energy and exciting. They used to call me. For 3 or 4 years they called me and said, "No, you've kind of dropped out. What's going on? Why don't you?" I'm like, "Well, my interests are elsewhere right now. Thank you."
Yeah. Well, it was so contentious. It was, it was very difficult. Who needed that in their lives,
Yeah, I go home upset after those meetings and when we get things, thinking about all the things they said and all the things I should have said.
Yeah, right.
So how many years did you do that? I was involved with it for about 4 years. And then you got Tim Iverson in there. He was the one that pushed it through the show.
I haven't heard anything of Tim since then.
He
just kind of gone his own way.
Changes and he's gone his own way. The one to ask about that is Kurt Anderson, and I saw him here, but I didn't get a chance to talk to him.
Oh, he's right there.
It's amazing. I've been seeing all these trying to get around here. And you didn't bring your boys.
No, they're grandma and grandpa.
Yeah,
it's much easier that way.
Yeah.
None is 5, and he's just not at the age where he would enjoy this.
We used to try to take our daughter to exhibition openings. After the first one, we learned our lesson, but we didn't really learn our lesson until the second or third time we tried. We got, when are we going to get the message? Don't take me to these things. She'd go right for the food table, and then she'd be yanking on us and saying, "When can I go?" Or she'd want to play, or she'd want to go run, and look at these paintings.
There's some other kids around. There's some other kids.
Yeah.
No, but I started working on that table, and I finally think I've got a system to where I can offshoot with teachers because there's some overlaps where some study with LAC plus some other people, and I think I've got something kind of figured out.
Oh, good.
And then I'm glad you're doing dates.
Yeah.
And then Jenny Riley said she would put it on the. You're not still doing this.
Yeah, sure. Of course.
Jenny Riley said she's going to put it on the. I hate this.
Now you're self-conscious.
Yeah. Going to put it on her computer.
Okay.
She's got that computer.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a program that'll handle. Okay. Good.
Because I was just going to put it on the computer and then draw the lines myself. But and it's tough.
Good.
And now that you do dates, there's a couple people I have problems with as far as the time when they come through.
And I'm trying. What I'll do is whatever I can't get today, I'll try to make phone calls and chase up that stuff later.
So then I can give you my notes. And you can put it all together.
Right.
I'm going to send stuff out with Jenny so she can put it on the computer.
Well, and I'll give her what I've got too. Yeah.
Then we can shift it to another system.
Yeah. That's an excellent idea. It's really needed to be done. Get everything documented.
I wish I'd have had it further along because then I could have brought it. I even thought about putting it on a chalkboard so people could go up and scratch.
Oh, sure. Well, once it's done, we'll publish it and then send it out and have everybody make notations and send it back. So.
What, are you getting my good side? Or?
Oh, I think so. You tell me. So what are you doing now?
Right now I'm doing a lot of different things, restoration of art.
Really?
Building. Mostly turn of the century kind of stuff.
Okay.
Dealing in art kind of a little bit. A little bit buying, selling. And I still try to keep my hand in my own painting a bit.
Good.
So I'm getting kind of spread out a little thin. I'm still in the art field.
Good.
You know why they got kicked out?
So where do you work then? Do you have a studio
I have
or?
a studio in downtown St. Paul.
Okay.
You're right above Master Framing.
Right above Master Framing.
Oh, okay. That's a good location.
Yeah, and it's not really big. I could use more space, but I'm just keeping it because it's nice. I can take off for a while and not worry about rent, which is nice. You know, it's got big windows on the floor up, so it's very business orientated. People can walk up one flight of steps. More than that.
Right. So, any special memories from your studies with Richard?
Well, I remember every year, if the first year students going in, they all had their designated job. Ours at that time was to make easels.
Right.
It was above the Rainbow Cafe. You had to enter through the cafe, up through some stairs off to the side. It was kind of, you wonder what you get up to. You're going up these steps, and there's, I think some people might have been living up off some other units up there, get into the atelier. And every year they would improve it. It was good memories working with a smaller group of people, students and everything. And,
Paul, how you doing?
I don't know.
That's enough.
Trained in tradition. It would be nice to have that dialogue, just as it had happened so many years ago. Just for that understanding, that support, the inspiration you have to have your own vision.
If you're tough-minded, I don't see any reason why nowadays with the applicants trying to make a decent thing. That wasn't true. Very fine artists in the past who struggled in their garrets and painted good things. So there's no excuse for running over commercializing your life and your art.
It's tough to
Oh yeah, it is.
we are strong, big
But you can make a living doing a lot of things besides your painting.
That's hard, yeah. I tried other things, but it takes you away from the game. You get consumed something else.
Nothing better than that.
Be a good
Yeah, I guess I hear, today's age is really so easy to make money. You guys should have been back in the So I quite see it. If you're clever, you can work something out. And, well, sure, you're not going to get a palatial studio at $150,000 a year. Just making your pictures, but you have to kind of work towards something. It's a much easier world now.
Well, I've got to tell you that. I've got to tell you. So when we were at the seminar, Jim and I, we had taken Best of Show at this particular event, and one of the men came up to me, and he does one of his, this particular one was in, it was the American Society of Portrait Artists. It was in, no, this one was down south, it was in Monmouth County. But anyway, so we, there was one of the men came up to me and was talking to me, and he said, this is what he said to me, he said, okay, well now, he's a portrait painter. Okay, now I earn $300,000 a year. But now that I make that money, now I want to learn how to paint. And he was asking, can you teach me? Isn't that amazing? That's just amazing.
It's a sad commentary on American culture. I've heard that these big Hollywood movies,
What's John Walker doing?
they make them endings, and they make 5 endings, and then they get a survey. They get people in do both. And the one that gets the one that gets the most votes, that's the ending they put on the movie.
Oh no.
I saw Titanic, and while I admire some things in it, I thought it was the most commercial piece of crap I've ever seen in my life, because everything was calculated for an audience. Every stinking thing. And I could admire the sets and ship models and all that stuff, but it was so calculated for a mass audience that it just made me throw up. It was horrible. And that's what we can get even in our painter's art. You can do the same thing. Chasing this phantom culture, which is nothing but sugar and cream.
It's interesting. Beautiful. So many paintings. That's exactly what I saw. It's just that. It's just so calculated. It's just trying to create a product that the mass, the mass, who knows what that is, that idealist, will accept or will.
Don't you think it's because there's no historical sense?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, look at good pictures, good music, good pictures. I've got a criteria.
Patricia. Thank you, Patricia.
Like, you read quality, you read contemporary novels, that compares to pictures. Or painting or any art form, you've got to have quality models. Now that's what culture is. So nowadays in America, everything, I don't like doing pictures because it really bothers me. The superficial thing that's just goes on forever. Somebody making $300,000 is a big deal. He doesn't, he or she, they don't know anything about art. They can make 6 times that selling dope in Chicago or New York or wherever. So what does that mean?
I was working for an art movie. We take art out of galleries and move $1 million piece of Picasso's and move it into these people's homes up in the North Shore, the high rises. These people are just unbelievable to find this work.
Oh, that's right.
They were just, I appreciate their appreciation for art. They'd be appreciating Jim Dine, these things that just, I have no idea.
Anybody that collects the fashionable stuff, collectors,
it was all about money. It was all about the dollars.
Yeah.
And it was just,
It's an investment.
yeah, these fashionable collectors, I wish they'd put big dollar signs on their paintings instead of on the frame.
It's such a status.
Used to be.
It's such a status. It's better than always keeping.
Well, it's hard for a painter nowadays to live on this kind of very hard, don't you think?
Boy, oh boy.
Because on the one hand, you want to make a living and you know your work is better than other people's and there's no public appreciation. There's no criticism that's valid. So it's like we're all, I always compared it, I tell kids when we got anchorites, the people that live in the desert, after a year, 200, Empire fell and everything was in chaos and decorative people just these people just said, I'm going to escape from this horrible world that we created, so they all ran off in the desert. They climbed up in trees and that's their life. But that's kind of the way we are. Just like anchorites in this desert. Well,
I remember seeing a Richard Schmidt catalog for an exhibit that he was juror.
Aren't you going to say something?
Domicile with 2,000 painted, 3 million sold.
My brother. The number of times.
Well, we have to do that.
And he said it like he said it.
I guess the best thing is just to
No
do
more
work.
jumping off of
A little audience. Hopefully make enough money to live comfortably. It's incredible. You guys are struggling now at a certain stage, but you'll find it. So it's a big problem, but
Don't you think if you do it the way you're talking about, Phil, just do what you feel like you need to do, sort of find where you should be and what your living style should be, how much you can afford to extend yourself, just live the way your career's about.
we'll keep an eye on the goal. I feel I've got as somebody gave me
I like to fly.
I wouldn't really
And he did a lot of times.
Your car because I have trouble getting out. But what do you need? And there is not
Well, you're braver than I am.
a generational models for what I call a cultivated medium life.
It's safer than
Like they used to have in Europe, in other words, you lived a modest level, but you were doing things that was important involved in art
yeah.
and other
You take, and I could do it tan.
and you could live in a
If I
big city
got
like
scared,
Paris or New York and partake
I
of
could
it,
do
and
a
you
tan
are
and jump
thinking
and
about
start with
success, the bitch got us success with
If I, my biggest problem was just understanding. I
so
thought
in America that's always been
well, I
erosion.
thought the secret was, man, I wouldn't have the strength to hold it. And he said, it just doesn't hit.
Defense against it at the same time, not being a snob. In other words, you have to make your living, so you gotta go out and do
I
it.
got
But at the
that
same time,
going
you're also
for me.
not. Because I see Richard Whitney caught in that thing. It's like he's trapped. And he's not thought it through.
There's always time.
In the long run, I think it's just.
Well, I don't know what they do here, but I will go
I don't know
with
what the answer is.
I remember an artist who had gotten so heavily into prints, selling prints just by the thousands. He talked about how he couldn't quit doing that and do what he really wanted to do because in his words, he had to feed the beast.
Time for some comedic entertainment.
Okay. Werden wir zu der Schauspiel gehen jetzt und wie sind die Mutter und Vater, mein Freund?
It's got me rolling in the aisles.
Okay.
So how you been? Haven't heard from you or much about you in quite a while. What are you up to these days?
Oh, lots of things, Gary.
Yeah.
Just got back from the Black Hills, got some painting out there.
Uh-huh.
Been doing a lot of painting out west.
Good. Uh-huh.
I've been incorporating horses into a lot of my pictures.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to be exhibiting at the Museum of the Horse in Lexington, Kentucky in September. I did that last year, so it's sort of a new field for me, pictures. But I mostly have been selling my floral still lifes.
Okay, good.
Doing some galleries in Carmel and Washington, D.C.
Excellent.
All points of the compass.
Other than here, this is still a tough market.
It is a tough market.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, the prophet is never recognized in his own hometown.
That's right.
So.
You know, and there are people, they like to go to a Mecca to buy art.
Yeah.
Like they'd like to go to one place to see a lot of car dealerships. You know,
Right.
Go to one place to see a lot of art galleries.
Right.
There's certain places in the country where that's
Right.
That's happened.
Yeah. Well, and you still have to seek out those individuals. You have to find the right individuals who are going to respond to your work. So you have to go to where you can get them.
Well, it isn't that there isn't a lot of money in this area. There certainly is, but
Yeah.
just there isn't that tradition of making fine art and a lot of people.
Well, I've been doing this art crawl, you know,
Yeah.
for 5 years.
Mhm.
Every 6 months, we have hundreds of people come to my studio, all the artists in that building. And I'm still amazed at how few paintings actually sell in the art crawl. I mean, it's they're wealthy people,
Right.
And they're obviously interested in art, but.
Well, I don't know. I think the people around here, as this is overly generalized, but there's a lot of them are more into following what is supposed to be the latest trend. You know, I think they call this the mini apple for good reason. They tend to try to follow and emulate what's going on out in the East Coast, what's the latest fashion, and they tend to be more art fashion than real art connoisseurs. They don't really understand, not that many, you know. Or they're trying to buy something just, it's decorative, it matches my sofa.
Sure.
You know.
Or they'll buy something if they think it's collectible and it'll be worth something in the future.
Right.
They have to be sold. I mean, it takes a lot of selling sometimes
Right.
to get people to buy stuff here.
Sure. Well, and you're asking them to make a significant investment typically. You know. So you have to give them a reason why they should spend that much money.
I did just do a commission for somebody on Summit Avenue who gave a glass art wall. Wanted a flower painting for to match their decor.
So they gave you sort of a color scheme to work with, or what? Did they have real different
In
ideas?
fact, they gave me the flowers that were there. They gave me the base. Made it
Well, that makes it easy to weigh. Sure. Yeah.
It wasn't bad. They forced me to do something I didn't do.
Well, I could still do the essay about the coffee cup though that we do with it.
Coffee cup?
Yeah, what we did is
We gotta go. Steve, give me a call.
Oh yeah. Let me get those easels from you.
Okay.
Stand up, honey. It's hard.
Oh.
This is Brian.
Our boys and Sean was hard.
Little Indiana Jones, actually.
Just a little Indiana Jones, yeah.
When I think of San Francisco, I can only think of, where'd you get that dress? Remember that? The guy that approached your wife in the store?
Yes, yes.
Where'd you get that blouse?
Yeah, where'd you get that blouse?
He was a monster of a guy.
Yeah.
6'8", and everybody thought he was about to mug her.
Well, yeah, he comes in, he's this huge guy, and he's out on this, we're in this store looking at t-shirts, and he's staring at my wife, and I'm going, what's this? And he walks in up to her, and all of a sudden he goes, say, where'd you get that blouse? He's this huge, big guy. And we just all kind of walk.
Everyone was scared that he was going to do something horrible.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Most of them are a lot of work here. I don't do a lot of
And we remember we were.
He'd been following us for about 2 shots, coming in and out behind us.
Yeah.
Finally, he started approaching up the studio.
Well, you know that we saw that guy that was doing that, scaring people across the street. Well, I was out there a few weeks later for a convention with for work, and my counterpart was with me, and we were down in the Cannery Row area again. And I'm thinking to myself, gee, I hope we come across this guy because he'll really scare the hell out of him, you know? Yeah, yeah. He was hiding behind a bush, and he'd jump out and scare people. But everybody'd be standing on the other side of the street. They'd be watching this and laughing like crazy. People would get so scared they jump out into the street and try, But then you get money for that. Well. So we're out there, and Tulio and I are walking down the street, and I happen to see him. He's on our side of the street, and he's right across the street. And he's sitting behind a bush, and I'm going, oh, good, Tulio doesn't see him. We're going to walk right next to him, and this guy's going to jump out and scare him, and I'm going to get a big laugh out of it. So we're getting up closer and closer and closer. The guy doesn't jump out. And so I'm thinking, oh, no, he's not going to do it. He's going to skip us and do somebody else. All of a sudden he goes, ha! And I jump. And everybody laughed. So he got me. I looked at everybody and I said, and I knew he was there. Yeah.